Hi everybody, welcome to Theo and Olaf. My name is Irene. With me is Olaf, our Samoyed doggy. And today we'll be talking about how to teach your Samoyed to be calm and quiet in exciting situations. Samoyeds are known to be very vocal and have a tendency to bark at a lot of things. And obviously the barking can be due to several reasons, including fear, discomfort, separation anxiety. But I would say for the most part, many Samoyeds can be very reactive in exciting situations, such as meeting new people, seeing other dogs, or just being in a new and exciting environment. And what the internet doesn't always clarify is how chaotic and stressful it can really be for both your dog and for yourself. And I have tried many things in the past to calm Olaf down, including distracting him with very high value treats or trying to get him some exercise before going out. And those things can help, but they don't always work for the long term. So I'm not a trainer by any means, but I do have some tips for you today to train your Samoyed to be calm and quiet in exciting situations. So one thing you can try first is to teach your dog the quiet command. And in order to teach the quiet command, you want to first introduce the speak command. Olaf, speak? Good, speak. So what people usually do is try a doorbell to get them to speak. The thing, why are you, okay. No one told you, no, quiet. Oh.
Someone's at the front porch doorbell.
The second that they bark, you want to say good speak. And you want to practice this a few times until you cement what speak means. Once your dog has a good sense of what speak means, then you want to introduce quiet. And what you want to do is to get your dog to speak and then quickly say quiet. The second they stop barking, you want to say good quiet. And quiet is such an abstract concept, so you want to practice this a few times to make sure that you really understand what this means. The other thing you really want to do is when your dog is just chilling, laying around, being quiet, that's when you want to say good quiet as well. And you want to be sure to use a softer, quieter tone to convey what quiet means. Many people make the mistake of saying quiet really loudly, and that doesn't really convey what quiet means. It sounds like you're just shouting or barking. So try to keep it at a softer tone and practice that many times. The other thing too I would recommend is to give your Samoyed an appropriate outlet to speak. Samoyeds are such chatterboxes and they just want to talk, but you want to give an appropriate place for them to do that. So at home, sometimes we'll just have little speaking sessions with Olaf where he can get his vocal cords tuned up, but then when we're outside, the expectation is that he's supposed to be quiet. The one thing that I highly recommend that you do is to train your dog's state of mind. And by that, I mean reinforcing calmness in everyday little situations, even before you get to something big that can set your dog off. If you have a routine of calm habits, it will naturally lead to more calm behavior. So if you're not doing this already, I would suggest doing some impulse control with your dog. For instance, during mealtime, instead of having your dog following you around excitedly for their food, have them wait for their food before they eat. Or if you're about to head out the door for a walk, make sure that your dog is calm and quiet and have them sit before you go out the door. Same thing if you're in the car with your dog, make sure they're calm and quiet before you leave with your dog. And when you're actually outside walking with your dog and you know that dogs or humans trigger your dog, get some more distance from those triggers. And once your dog is more comfortable, then you can gradually decrease the distance away from them. It's a lot better to maintain your dog's state of calm and removing triggers than to have them overstimulated, anxious, and then trying to correct them. And a lot of times corrections don't work either when your dog is already anxious and not in the right state of mind. One practical command that you can do is to teach the place command. The place command is basically giving your dog a designated spot to just relax and do nothing. And for us, it's this cot that you see here. We call it bed just because place and crate sounds very similar. We just want to make it very obvious where Olaf should go. But the idea is that Olaf is supposed to just do nothing here and just be at one with his surroundings. And you want to reward with a lot of treats. If they're not used to it already, just make it a comfortable spot. Once your dog is comfortable with a place indoors, you can try it outside, and that way they can get used to being chill when they're outdoors in distracting environments. The other thing you have to do is practice, practice, and practice. With a lot of consistency, your dog will get the idea of what calmness and quiet means, but you have to be consistent and make sure that there aren't gaps in this type of training. So that's it for my tips in terms of how to train your Samoyed to be calm and quiet in exciting situations. I would say that you shouldn't expect perfection from your Samoyed. They are very vocal creatures. They were bred to be that way, but they can learn to be more calm than they are already. The other thing I want to say is that you want to think of calmness as a mindset as opposed to a command that you can just tell your dog to do on the spot. They can do that, but little behaviors of calmness will help over time. One thing I want to clarify is that this does not mean your dog can have fun or go crazy. Your dog can have outlets for his energy to get out, but you also want to allow your dog to be calm and quiet. So if you're struggling with your Samoyed and maybe it's driving you bonkers, I want to say that I completely empathize with you. There have been many scenarios in the past where it was just very embarrassing to take Olaf out, whether it was puppy class or just taking him out on a walk. He'd just bark at everything and be super anxious. And if you're struggling, I would highly suggest that you see the help of a professional trainer and hopefully one that has a background in dog behavior. So let us know what you think about our suggestions. If you've tried anything like this before, I'd love to know how it's going for you. And as always, if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching.